Hi everyone, welcome. Today we're going to delve into essential components needed to establish and maintain reciprocal relationships with families, volunteers, and the community. These relationships are foundational and they are to create a supportive and enriching environment for young children. So let's think about some strategies and practices that can help us build strong collaborative partnerships. And this should help you when you start answering the discussion board assignment. So we want to build trust and respect. And so strategies for building trust are going to be, we want consistent and reliable actions and follow through on commitments with our families. This builds reliability and trust. We also want to be transparent. We want to share information openly and honestly with families and community members. Transparency also fosters trust and mutual support. And we want to, of course, have active listening. When we active listen, it shows genuine interest in the perspectives and the concerns of the families and the volunteers. And so we want to listen empathetically and actively. We also want to ensure we have cultural responsiveness. So we want to respect diversity. We want to acknowledge and celebrate the community, the connectiveness, and the belonging, and the backgrounds and cultures of the families and the community members we work with and we serve. And we also want to implement practices that are inclusive and respectful of all cultures and all traditions and values. So let's think a little bit about effective communication. The keys of effective communication are clarity and conciseness. So we want to communicate clearly and concisely to avoid any miscommunications or misunderstandings. We also want to give regular updates on children's progress, the program's activities, and upcoming events. And we want to do this through multiple channels. So multiple modes of communication. So use various communication channels such as newsletters, emails, phone calls, face-to-face meetings with families, 5-minute check-ins in the morning or in the evening, afternoon when families are dropping off and picking up. We want to make sure we have two-way communication. So feedback mechanisms, ways to create opportunities for families and community members to provide feedback and to share their insights. And we also want to encourage open dialogue. So where families feel comfortable just expressing their thoughts and concerns. We want a family-like atmosphere. So we also want to have involvement and participation in our programs. And so we want to engage our families and our volunteers. And so ways we can do that is through classroom activities, inviting families and volunteers to participate in classroom activities, reading sessions, art projects, field trips. We want to have events and workshops that involve families and provide them with tools to support their children's learning at home. And we want to encourage community participation. So community events could be hosted that bring families and volunteers and local organizations together. So think of like a family night where you invite community organizations that provide services for children within your community to have vendor booths set up to get information on the organizations and agencies within town, the community that you work and live in. We want to partner with local businesses and collaborate to support program initiatives to provide additional resources. So in the state of Kentucky, we have the Dolly Parton Imagination Station Library, and that is in every county in Kentucky, and that is a partnership with local businesses within individual communities that provide the means to support that initiative for all children birth through 5 to receive a free book every month from the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So when we think about collaboration and partnership, We want to foster collaboration through joint planning. So involve families, volunteers, and community members in the decision-making process of your program. We want to have shared goals. We want to establish shared goals that align with the needs and aspirations of children and families you serve. And some examples of successful partnerships would be partnering with the school community resource centers to provide families with access to services such as health care, counseling, and educational support. It could also be partnering with a local library to collaborate to offer reading programs and literacy workshops for children and families. And then, last but certainly not least, we always want to think about continuous improvement. So assessing the effectiveness of the program. So use evaluation tools, and we've talked about that in this course. Use surveys and feedback forms and observations to assess the needs and the effectiveness of your engagement strategies. And then you analyze that data to identify ways for improvement and the ways you can make informed decisions about your program and about the offerings you give children and families. So make sure you have feedback mechanisms such as regular check-ins with families. So schedule these. Have a parent-teacher night where these are scheduled, and community member meetings or stakeholder meetings where you can gather feedback and discuss concerns or needs of the community. And then, of course, adaptability. Be open to making changes based on the feedback you receive and to continuously improve your engagement efforts of your program. So in conclusion, let's just think about establishing and maintaining reciprocal relationships with families, volunteers, and the community. It is crucial for the success of early childhood education programs. By building trust, respect, communicating effectively, involving families, volunteers, and fostering collaboration, we continuously improve our practices and we can create a supportive and enriching environment. Sorry, I've got to turn my page. For young children. So if you work together to implement those types of strategies in a program that you currently work in or in a program that you're hoping to work in or to create after you receive your education, you're really going to make a positive impact on the lives and the children that you serve.